So I was right. I said Noah Lyles was going to win because Noah Lyles, the way he trains and the way he's been running all season, he's just a strong and consistent runner. And I said Keishane Thompson was going to come in second. The reason why he was going to lose is because of his injuries. He's injury prone. And because of that, he doesn't have because the Olympics, you're constantly running. You have to run through, the trials to get, to the final. And I said, that's going to bother Keishane. That's going to affect him some kind of way. And I was right. And my third pick was Fred Kerley. Why? Because Fred Kerley is an under pressure runner. And he realized he made a mistake before and he lost. And, he was looking for some redemption. And Fred Kerley is one of the only people who, in that race, has ran a 9.76. So I definitely had Fred Kerley as third. Now, the race itself, some people are saying that Keishane got robbed, and it's like, people don't understand track and field. It's the torso. So the torso has to cross first, not the foot. So when you look at the photo finish, you'll see that Noah's torso, came, first over Keishane because Noah leaned. He couldn't see Keishane, but he was like, if I can get this lean, in there at his top speed, he has a good chance. And he even went to Keishane and said, listen, man, I think you got this one. Look, it was great sportsmanship for Noah to say, look, I thought I had to swallow, I had to swallow my pride and say, hey, Keishane got this one. Great sportsmanship, all the people who were hating on Noah, he knew it was about to come down on him for getting second. He knew it. But when he got first, he was like, America, I told you. Now, when he says America, he's talking to specifically to a group of people who really was coming down on it because they didn't like a lot of things he said. And I get it. Noah talks the talk, but now he walks the walk. Is like, what are you going to do? NBA players, the NBA players came at him because Noah said, you're not the world champions. There's no flags in the NBA. And, then somebody broke it down and said, well, wait a minute. All the top players in the world come and play in the NBA. And, I don't know if that's true or not, but the NBA is definitely a mixed bag. There are a lot of people who are from other countries playing in the NBA. So I will give the NBA that, definitely. And then you have other leagues that are out there, the G League, and then, you go to China and play. A lot of those players are not good enough or are training to be good enough to get picked up by the NBA, to get on their roster, even their practice roster. So this is true. When it comes to the world's best players, they are definitely in the NBA. But, however, Noah said there are no flags in the NBA. And then Noah was also talking about individually. Individually, it's an individual sport. When I go out here, the flag of America is on my chest. I represent America myself. So in my sport, I have to go out here and represent America. You guys are a team sport. You guys represent, when you're in the NBA, you don't necessarily represent America when it's just the NBA championships. You don't represent all countries when it's the NBA championship, meaning that even if you have your starting five and they're all from different countries, you're in America. When you win the championship, you don't say Croatia won, Spain won, America won, India won. You don't do that. You go, we're the world champions. So Noah has a point when it comes to that. I can see both sides, but he is definitely correct. And so, they came down on him and they were like, let's see it. You lost in, the two races that were the prelims, the semifinals, you lost, you better do something. And then he wins, and then some of them are like, okay, I gotta say, hey, the man did his thing. And then other people came back and said, listen, we're gonna reconvene in the 200. We're still gonna hate on you unless you win the 200. And it's like, nah, B, this man is a 200 specialist. Now, even if he does lose, because he lost in the last Olympics to Andre DeGrasse and to Kung Fu Kenny Benderek. And Kenny is right there again in the 200 as he was in the 100. You got to understand that Noah stepped down into the 100. That's why the 100 is a big deal to Noah. Not only that, Noah put in all of the work. When I say this the hardest working man in track and field, that is the hardest working man in track and field. What he did, it's amazing because Noah, when he first said, you know what, I'm going to try the 100. I'm half decent at the 100. I'm really good at the 200. He's like, I'm going to try the 100. And then he got out there and he would lose. And he was like, I got to figure out how to beat people. So he looked at his race, he went to his coach. Boom, my start. My finish is great. My start is not so good. So what does he do? He puts himself out there. It's not so much that he practiced. He went and challenged the fastest runner in the world in the 60. And he started competing in the 60. And then he started winning in the 60. He started beating Coleman in the 60. You guys, do you understand the dedication that this man has put in? And then he did it in front of everybody. He wasn't hiding. He was like, I'm going to enter in the 60. I'm going to step down from the 200 and I'm going to enter in the 60 just to get faster. And when he won the 60, he said, it's getting dangerous out here. This is what he said to John, whoever, one of the announcers or whatever he does. He says, listen, man, after he won the 60 championship, he's like, it's getting dangerous out here. And he was warning everybody, if I can capture the 60, no one can beat me in the 100. And that's exactly what he showed. Now, I want to say big ups to Kashane because Kashane went out there and he analyzed his race and he said he got too excited. He said his race was off because when you look at the top speed and if you look at Kashane's race and top speed and all this other stuff, Kashane, he didn't mean to actually run the way he did, but he was excited. He's not usually at this level because he's usually hurt. And he went out there and inexperience is what got him in second place. He could have won that race. If he could have leaned, he could have won that race. I believe that 120%. But Noah, that back end speed, he knew Noah was coming. Everybody in that race has analyzed Noah's race. They know when Noah hits 70 yards, it's like Carl Lewis. When Noah hits 70 yards, he is running faster than everyone else simply because everyone else is decelerating. Everyone else hits their top speed somewhere around 60, 65. Noah hits his top speed around 70, but the thing about it is he keeps that speed. Everyone else is slowing down. It's just like Daphne Skippers, the same thing. She was a master at it. She's the third fastest woman in the 200. Why? Because Daphne Skippers had the ability to not decelerate once she hit top speed. Once you hit top speed, most people start decelerating. She holds her acceleration. Noah is a master at that. So it makes it seem like he's running faster. No, he's able to hold his top speed. And that's how he won. So it's a beautiful race. And then when you look at Sabini who came in fourth, Fred Curley who came in third, it was even closer than first and second. It was a beautiful race. Even the last place runner ran a 991 and he got hurt. Uh it was a beautiful race. Anytime you have to wait to see who won, it's a beautiful race. And I loved it. Great sportsmanship. Big ups to the Jamaicans. They've held the title for so long, but none of their male runners that were holding that title run anymore. There's no Safa Powell. There's no Usain Bolt. There's no Ashmead. Where none of those guys are running anymore. And so it left the field wide open, and Noah Lyles has just been putting in good work. So, but he didn't rob anybody. He won fair and square. He knew the rules. He knew the assignment, and that's how he won. And big ups to all of them, every single runner in that race, because it was beautiful, and I love reliving the moment. Even if Noah would have lost, it still would have been by the smallest margin, and no one on the planet could have said, "Oh, Noah, you're not this, you're not that." It'd been like, "Are you at? Do you know how fast this man is running? He's running so fast that he would get a speeding ticket in a school zone. Like this guy is running 28, 27 miles an hour, and he's holding his speed. Like there's like." You basketball players, be quiet, because none of you can run that. There's only very few basketball players that could run a 10-second, and I only know one that ran under 10 seconds. I think that was Wilt Chamberlain or something like that. There's not too many basketball players who's going to even come close to 10, and let alone under 10. So, yeah, basketball players, you guys just, leave that one alone, because Noah could probably take up basketball and do good, but you taking up track, not so much. I'm out.